Lisa. Launch your income. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here. We are about to get started. Trying to start on time, friends. I want to make sure I am here. I'm going to start my other live a little early as well. Let's do the music there. Appreciate you all coming in. We're going to get to talking in a second. And I'm going to like my live right now. So I appreciate you coming in. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll get started in a second. Hello, how are you, Diamond? How are you, friend? Thank you for showing up. You said, I got the notification. How are you? I am sitting on my screen. I'm about to go live on the other channel. And I'm actually trying to log into it. It's not letting me log in. It's all good. Hope all is well on your end. He said, I'm good. Awesome, awesome. I've been a little busy, so all good things. I shared previously that I'm trying to do the whole TikTok shop, so that has taken up a lot of my time lately, but I'm enjoying it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go over to TikTok, and then I'm gonna try to get logged in really quickly. How's your live journey? Are you going live, friend? Let me know if you are going live, and how is it going for you? Hello, Michelle. How are you? Diamond is in the house. She was chatting with me a second ago. I appreciate you being here. We're going to talk about going live. We're going to have some mindset conversations as well. So we'll get started in 5 seconds. I'm trying to be on time. There we go. And I'm going to set my appreciate you all coming in. And we're going to get started. I just turned my live on. Let's see. I think I need to charge my battery. I should have had it charging. Hello, TikTok. It is Dr. Lisa, Launch Your Income. I am here. Thank you so much for being here with me. We're talking about going live. I also want to talk about mindsets. I'm going to look over here. My purpose parenting class is taking up a lot of my time, creating curriculum for it and answering students' questions. Awesome, awesome. Hello, friends, all who are coming in. I appreciate you. I was looking at my YouTube. You guys saw me flipping my head back and forth. Yari, how are you, friend? We're just getting started. Ada, thank you so much for joining. This is my 4 o'clock. It's normally, hello, friends, YouTube friends. This is Dr. Lisa. Thank you all for coming in. And make sure you act accordingly because I do have a moderator. Thank you all who are coming in. So yes, Michelle, she is in the building. So she is not taking any nonsense. How are you? Hello, Halaku. How are you, friend? Hello, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sending her roses. BP, thank you so much. All of you are coming in. Alicia, thank you, friend. Andrea, thank you so much coming in. I know she's talking about the person she just kicked out because they were not right. They did not understand the assignment. So this is my go live. It's usually my go live with ease, but we have a special topic that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about mindset. This is the mindset shift edition. That's what we're talking about. So I want to make sure I am talking to my friends here so that we can think about all the things that we do in life. And we often lead with fear. We're often leading with being nervous or scared, and we don't take action. We overanalyze that things. We need to make sure we know all the different specific instructions and details before we take any action. And so we're going to shift our mindset. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about mindset. How you doing? Suddenly, I see your friend. You know, I tried to be on time today. You know, I'm usually a few minutes lagging, so I turned on my YouTube channel and I got things set up, and I was here for the most part on time. It was like 4:01, y'all, 4:01, but I made it. Hi there, have a little lunch and listen to. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's right, we're on a different time zone. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Orlando. And so I know you are West Coast time. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate being here with you. Able to join you for lunch. Hello, friend. Now, suddenly, Susan, did you go live again today? I know you did your first one yesterday morning. What was today like? Did you go live? Let me know if you did. Yay. I'm always late. It's so I know it's pervasive for me now too. It's like, okay, you know what? I gotta build in. I really in my mind I need to shift to the 350. 350, I need to be cutting the cameras on, setting up my login, doing all the things because I do it at 3:59. So that is not working. Clearly it's not working. Everyone watching, thank you so much, all who are joining me there. I appreciate you all. So yeah, clearly I I need to get my life in order. Planning to go late. Exactly. Oh, you said planning to go later. I thought you said I was planning to go late because I was planning to go late. I am never on time because if you do that, you are intentionally planning to go late. But you said you're planning to go later. Okay, you are so consistent though. Thank you. I do show up. Now, do I show up at the time I advertise? Not at all. I'm usually 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes late, y'all. So I'm here though. He said, hi, I'm here. How you doing, Diamond? Diamond was just on the YouTube. She came on. I appreciate you all that are over there as well. So thank you, my YouTube people. So as you can tell, I co-stream. So this is what I'm doing. I'm talking about TikTok, but obviously this conversation goes for both platforms because I want you all to understand, like, if you're doing this, if you are in the right mindset to do this, then you'll do it and you just hit the go live button and you won't let all the negative self-talk talk you out of it, essentially. So that's what we're going to talk about today. You sure do. You know what? Here's the secret. And let me just be honest with you all. Here's the secret. Part of it is I'm wired that way. When I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna try my best to show up and do it fully. That's part of me how I'm wired. The other thing is I've built in I would like to say a little bit of motivation and inspiration to show up every day. And what I built in is my Instagram group. So when I post over there, when I'm commenting to all the ones that chat with me and be in my DMs, asking questions, I feel like I'm now doing this for a group of people and they're looking for me to set the tone, to keep doing it, be consistent. And so because of that, I'm like feeling a responsibility to a certain extent. It's a responsibility now, which I really do enjoy. And that's how I feel about it. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy showing up. I enjoy supporting all of you all. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel like this is my purpose. This is my calling. And so I do that for my community. And what I share with you all is that you can build and do that for your community. That's what this is all about. And as long as you're staying positive, you're being that voice that's encouraging them, keeping them going, answering all the questions that they have. You can be that for your people. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a great way to look at it. It is. It is. You are showing up for people who are depending on you to show up and keep them inspired and keep them motivated because guess what? It's not always easy. You don't always feel like it. But at the same time, if you feel like, okay, there are people who need to hear my voice, need to hear whatever, wisdom or additional information and support that I can give them, then you offer that. And that's what this is all about. And so thank you all who are here. I appreciate you all coming in for the Mindset Edition, the Mindset Shift Edition. That's what we're doing. We shifting minds over here. We are shifting minds. So I don't want you all to be scared or nervous. I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. Thank you all who are coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you are on, thank you so much. Faith Save for Life. How are you, friend? Thank you so much. I appreciate you all coming in. That's what this is about. So I want you guys to hopefully feel as if this is something that you can do. Now I talk about it from a go live perspective because here's the reality. Here's the reality. There's a lot of people who will come and they recognize, okay, this is where I want to come in and get my information. I want to consume. I want to make sure I'm feeding myself in a way that is helping me to think about life differently. Now, that is fine. That is totally okay. What I will say to you though, if you're doing that as a crutch to say, well, I don't want to take action because I'm nervous about what could possibly happen. Maybe nobody will show up. Maybe I don't know what to say. Maybe I'm nervous and I'm scared. And if that fear is leading you to say, well, I'm just going to continue to consume and continue to just show up, then I would say you might want to rewire your thinking. That's the mindset shift we're going to talk about. Because I don't want you to sit there and let the fear keep you from doing something that you really are purposefully made to do. And that is to help others, inspire them, and support them. So that's what I would say to you. Are you in my brain? Oh, thank you so much. You said, how am I in your brain? I appreciate your friend. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate all the compliments. How you doing? Thank you so much. You said brilliant. You guys are sweet. You guys, you know what? And so that's probably why I show up too, because I get this is like such an ego boost. You guys are awesome. Sometimes the person who's leading and talking and inspiring others need that as well. So I so appreciate it. So I want you all to know it is not falling on deaf ears. Everything you guys say and the compliments, that does help. And I'll say that keeps me motivated, because if you're not hearing that reinforcement from people, you're like, okay, why am I doing this? Nobody's showing up. But the reality is somebody's listening. There's people right now listening, and they haven't tapped to come watch yet. They haven't come in to get their daily heart. Me, I always say that because you know there's always people listening. And recognizing, yes, I'm listening. That's 100% true. And recognize that at some point you probably are inspiring people. They just haven't let you know yet. That's the thing about it. So keep doing it. You'll see the difference. So we're going to talk through this. I got a couple things that I have written down. I usually go through, oh, appreciate your friends. I usually go through, and I'll probably do it because I think many of you will kind of walk through, especially my new people in the room, what's in my stand store. I say this and I don't talk about it enough, but I put that free mindset guide in there because whenever you do something that's totally different, and I recognize the products that I talk about and promote, going live, the checklist, the chat guide, the bundle, UBC, any of that stuff is different. We're not wired to think that way. We're not wired to even know what digital marketing is from a broad perspective, because that's what we're doing. When you live stream, you're doing a subset of digital marketing. When you are on TikTok doing social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you're on these platforms, you're engaging in content creation. And that's a form of digital marketing. So anything you do digitally, essentially, where you are branding yourself, promoting yourself, talking about the resources and materials that you have, products that you may be selling, maybe you're an affiliate, that is all part of digital marketing. So I say that because a lot of people don't make that connection. But when you make that connection, then it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. To do this, then I have to do something that is radically different than what I've been trained and taught all my life to do. Get up, go to a job, work 9 to 5, come home, and then you deal with, whatever your personal life and other activities you have going on. So we're wired to think that we need to operate in that very linear way. And this space says that you need to rewire your thinking about how you operate. And so I put the mindset guide in there first because essentially people are not wired that way. And then we often lead with, no, I can't do it, knowing that this is something radically different than what you're used to doing. And so if you have that, and I have that guide in there, and I have it as a free product, people hopefully will get that and realize, okay, wait a minute, maybe she's on to something. Maybe she is right about how I've been operating. And I've been operating well within my comfort zone. I've been leading with a mindset that is not advancing me, it's holding me back. And I need to intentionally shift how I think and operate. Thank you so much. You said, I'm present. How you doing, friend? I was early today. I was early. I'm normally not this early. I was early today. Someone said we see how many are in the room, but who knows how many are in the hallway listening? Yes, that's true. Thank you so much, friends. That is exactly true. You don't know how many in the hallway. And so what I will say, right now it says 19 in the room. So far, TikTok has said that they've sent this out to 133 people. So 133 people at some point viewed this live. Okay, so we've only been here 13 minutes essentially. And so, yeah, wow, yeah. So people are listening. People, they're either swiping or they're listening, because there's a couple ways you can listen to a live. If you go to the home screen and you want to type in a topic, you can scroll over and see if that topic is available live. And then as you scroll down through the content, you actually get kind of this thumbnail of the person talking. So on that view, who knows how many people are seeing me from that view? And they're like, okay, I'm not going to tap to come in. I'm just going to sit here and listen to her from that view. There's so many different ways you can do it. And then you can obviously it could show up in your For You page. It could show up on your follows and following. And so yeah, there's so many different ways that you can see a person, and you can just sit in the room and listen and decide if you want to tap to come watch. But that's okay. That is totally okay. And I welcome everybody to come in and listen as well. If you want to come get your daily heart me and tap and get some points for all the things that you're listening to today. But like I said, this is a mindset edition because I know a lot of us, we are, especially my women in the room. You know, I posted that this morning because I know oftentimes we lead with a mindset that says it's not going to work out. That's what we tell us. And then this morning I got on the soapbox because I shared my own personal situation where I had a friendship for quite some time and decided to let that friendship go towards the end of last year, recognizing that that friendship was not supporting me. It was not helping me. It was not elevating me. It was actually taken away from me. And it had me in a space where I really felt like I had to not be my best version of myself because I was constantly trying to support that friend in terms of what they were dealing with, and it wasn't keeping me, it wasn't elevating me. You said I missed that. Yes. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah. And so sometimes you gotta let people go. If people are not uplifting you, if they're keeping you holding you back. And this was I'm gonna say this. This is the friendship. So my husband, he is into YouTube. So he is a YouTuber. He is on there. I think he has about a dozen or so YouTubers that he listens to faithfully, and it's a good handful that every day he's listening to them. Okay. Matter of fact, to the point where he would cut on Eric Thompson. Eric Thomas. He would turn that on in the mornings. And that's how my boys would wake up. Maybe a little bit of me waking up too. Listen to his words. And that was his person he would go to all the time and listen to him constantly. And he had his videos and stuff and that he would go to. So YouTube is a man's place too. I'm gonna just say that in terms of his demographic is mainly a lot of men that's there. Yeah, I love him too. I do. And so that was one of his people he would listen to. There's a couple others that he listens to as well. I mentioned Monique Hinton in terms of her information in terms of digital marketing and being in this space from a digital marketing broadly perspective, and she has a lot of YouTube videos on that. He loves and adores her. So what was happening is that he was listening to these people. He was encouraging this whole concept of, oh, there's a space that we need to be thinking about. And so there's a space that we need to really be thinking about in terms of being in this social media digital marketing space. And then ultimately what he said, well, he was supportive of this, but I had a friend in my head that was saying, in my ear rather, that was saying, no, don't go over there. It's dangerous. People are over there, they're rude. People are stalking. People, all the messages that, you grow up hearing and you've seen and heard some incidences. So you kind of let that go into your psyche like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I don't have time for that. Oh my gosh. And I was that person that didn't want to engage in this at all. And so when I finally let that friendship end, I had a void that I had to fill, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, well, what do I do now? Because this is a person I spoke to pretty much once or twice a day easily. And then I realized, I was like, well, wait a minute, I have a void. Well, let me go on and I was on Facebook and I was hearing different messages about TikTok and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, let me go over there and check it out. And so that's how it actually happened for me when it came to starting this not this Dr. Lisa account, the other account first. What's the final straw? Hold on, my internet says I'm unstable. Hold on. TikTok, are you acting up? Let me see, is it me or TikTok? I'm gonna uncharge my battery. I think my phone keeps overheating. You said, what was the incident? You're not unstable. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You said, what was the incident that really did it? Were you talking about when the friendship ended? We had, honestly, we had a difference of opinion. That's pretty much where I was distill it down to. It was a difference of opinion. And it was a difference of opinion in terms of just emotional intelligence and maturity. in terms of how I would have responded to a situation. And again, for me, I'm always looking at things like, okay, you know what, there's a time where you have to set people right, and there's a time when you don't. And you need to have a little bit more discernment about when you need to let them have it. And she was one of those where, it was definitely one of those people who was a firecracker, and everything you said could set her off really quickly. And I did not I didn't. I guess ultimately I didn't care for that negative energy. I think that's ultimately it. I was like, you know what, this is not feeding my spirit, and so why am I engaging in this type of interaction and behavior? So that's ultimately what happened. So thank you for asking though. But sometimes you gotta let people go, and if there's somebody in your ear that's not supporting your well-being, you got to make sure that you're surrounding yourself around the right people. Now, this was an old friend from high school. My other friends, the ones I went on vacation with, those are my friends from college. And so when it came to them and me talking about the things I want to do, and if I shared ideas and stuff with them, they've always been my biggest champions. And their personalities and attitudes is like, hey, you got one life, let's make sure we make the best of it, make sure we're supporting people and treating people positive every step of the way. And how you engage them, how you talk to them, yeah, there's moments when you got to set people straight, but at the end of the day, how do you lead with love? And so that's my personality, and that to me was what I wanted to surround myself around. So that's how the relationships from that I really focus on has been for my betterment. Just being around people that's gonna improve my relationship and my thoughts too. So it says, Lord, my family and friends tell me that now. Now the internet is going to tell me I am unstable. Exactly. I'm starting to be like Elsa from Frozen and letting a lot go. Yes, yes, you got to. People will obviously bring you down and bring you to a place where your mindset is always in the negative realm, and so you just gotta let it go. And if people are doing that to you, let them go. You do outgrow people. Yes, yes, Toya. Yeah, you said yes. I love it. You outgrow people. Hello, Doc. How you doing, Miss Darlene? Clean house. Yes, absolutely. You do. You do. And so because of that, because I made that shift, I was open. And let's play this out. If I was still in that friendship, in that situation, and I was still kind of letting those messages kind of come into me and feed my thoughts about how I should be operating and acting, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. There's no way I would be doing what I'm doing today. There's no way I wouldn't have met and supported, hopefully I'm supporting y'all, but just met the people I've met and the people who fed into me and the people who I'm feeding into. So, that to me is where all this is about, me being open and me being able to say, what if it will work out? And not having that fear where it's not going to work out. People are not going to show up. What people are, going to hurt you and harm you in so many different ways. So I got to be, for me, it was about shifting my mindset. Give me 1 second. I think we got to do whatever. Whoever has the ear, has your ear, has your future. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that one. Yes. We're proud of you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got the flash goal. I'm sorry, you all. I said it because TikTok kept flashing in my face. It's like, okay, I see you. So yeah, so that you guys know, my anybody new in the chat, let me know if you're new. Let me know if you're new to my room. Like I said, this is a mindset edition conversation. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about shifting your mindset. I'm gonna support you all. I want you to be intentional about what you do moving forward. How you doing, Sparkle? I sparkle for us clothing. I love that. Look at there. Awesome. You are new. Is this a business account too, friend? Let me know if you, I'm assuming that's the case. So yeah, that's the business website. Yep, yep, awesome. All right, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. Usually what I talk about is going live, and I talk about, for this one, this is my newbies, it's a business account. Okay, awesome. I talk about going live, but also talk about the fact that I want you to understand the mechanics of going live so that you can be successful. So I use this as my 4 o'clock is for my newbies, my people who are still trying to get accustomed to all of this. I would like to think that there's not as many people who are doing the encouragement piece of this, because that's where the work comes in. You know, you gotta feel like whoever is, you know, in front of you on this live camera is somebody you know, like, and trust, and ultimately they're encouraging you to do something, you know, that's gonna improve improve your situation. But also, maybe if I'm going live, then you come across my page, then if I'm encouraging you about the go live process, then you will go live and you will encourage other people about their process, or whatever solution or situation, that topic that you have that you want to address with your audience. You can do it with confidence. Okay, because a lot of times you're here and you're like listening to other people and you're consuming, like I said earlier, consuming information. But how do you then become a curator? Okay, so that's what this is all about. I have very few people I can talk to about goals to be successful digital marketers. Yes, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, obviously, this is a field where, especially, I'm going to use generationally. There's a generational gap too. So when you think about talking about this, there is this notion that, you know, we're, you know, it's not real work, you know, it's a scam and all this other stuff. And there is a space, there is a well-known, very lucrative space for talking about this work, talking about how to engage, making sure you're building up, you know, people who will support you, but then you in turn will support them with whatever your solution is. So a lot of times it's a matter of understanding the business model in addition to whatever product or service you're offering. And if you're affiliate, how do you talk about it in terms of a product and its features and benefits for people? So you want to be able to do that. But I mean, you know, it's really a, when you think about marketing in its true sense, you market something to ultimately sell something. That's the goal. So if you're marketing well, if you're branding well, you will ultimately, you know, people will get your solution. So that's the notion. So if you understand the concepts behind marketing and sales, you should do well. And I use the word sales because I know a lot of people's like, oh, I don't want to be sold to. I don't want to be salesy. At the end of the day, it's about how you communicate. Okay, so it's not about how you're being salesy. It's about how do you communicate in a way that people see you and you're authentic and they feel like, okay, this is a person I can connect with. That's with anything in life that you've ever had to purchase. You either bought it because you were, obviously it was an impulse buy or something that you really liked and you knew you wanted to get, and you may have done some research, or you walked in and it's like, oh, I love the colors, I love all the things about it, and I'm going to get it. Or somebody told you about the features and benefits and you're like, you know what, I do need that. I didn't realize I needed that, but I do need that. So I say that because you're right, it's not a big space right now for that and people understanding how to do that effectively, but it does take time. That's not something you do overnight. You're building a relationship. And so when I talk about going live, communication is key. Absolutely. Exactly. When I talk about going live, you said that's my issue. What's your issue, friend? So yeah, when I talk about going live, I talk about the notion of practicing how you are going to communicate to your audience. You know, thank you so much. You leveled up to level 17, Bree. Congratulations. Awesome. Greetings. How you doing, 41? Thank you so much, friend. Yeah, when I talk about going live, I want you to be intentional about who are you talking to. And so we always I always share that, because if you're talking to everybody and the thinking is that, okay, well, if I talk and you know, just start, cut the go live button on and just start talking, people are just going to come in my room instantly and they're going to instantly want whatever I have. But no, that's about that relationship building. And so back to mindset shift. We are often looking for the instant gratification. And so what people and what we're telling ourselves, our brain is saying, is that, okay, well, wait a minute. What if people don't come? What if people don't engage? What if you don't know what to say? What if you say it and you don't say it correctly? What if you say it and it doesn't come out very eloquent and smooth? What if you say something and it's incorrect? You know, and people call you out on something that's incorrect. You know, all those things we say to ourselves, and our brain says that, and then we don't click the go live because we're nervous, we're fearful, we're shy, we're all those things. And not that you can't be those things. I'm not saying you can't or you shouldn't. You can have those feelings. You can sit in those feelings. You can absolutely be afraid. But what I'm sharing with you is that how do you use that fear to fuel you? how to use that fear to now flip the script a little bit. And now you're here and you're saying, despite that fear, I'm not going to let that stop me. And it is going to be awkward. It is going to be uncomfortable at times. And I'm going to get past that. And I'm going to have a community that I build and we're going to do fine. So it's tough talking to yourself. You know what? Oh gosh, 41. Here's what I say, and I've said it a few times in the live here. What I've done mentally and what I've done. Well, let me. So now I'm compelled to tell you you guys the backstory. I said a little bit about my friendships. So my friendships. So this is kind of a cheat code. I'm gonna talk about you know your friends very well. So my friendships are all friends that are not here in Florida. So they're in Illinois and Georgia. Okay? And there's a group chat that we're all in. So I'm Florida, they're Illinois and Georgia. And so with this group chat, we have literally, this has been my life for about, I was going to say 5, but 5 would put us at 2020. So it must be like 2015, so almost 10 years. Yeah, I will say 10 years. So I have a little bit of a cheat code, and I don't know if anybody who does this. My friends we've always been apart in that way, and we get together a couple times a year. We've had a group chat that was on this platform. It wasn't WhatsApp. That's a different one. Thank you so much. Look at you. We've had this group chat. I've never seen that one before. That was not a WhatsApp, but imagine something like that. It was called Glide, and I think they just renamed it to Lloyd, some other platform, but we still use it. And with those group chats, what you do is you're talking to yourself the entire time. You're talking to yourself. You're having this conversation. I show up and my hair might be all over my head, no makeup on. I'm doing whatever and I'm talking to them. And I've been doing those videos for them. And my husband was like, okay, you gliding. You know, it was always me on the phone and I would talk to them. And that was who I was talking to. So because of that, it's funny because one of my friends said, you transitioned to this because you got used to doing this with the glides. And I was like, I guess so. But I got used to seeing myself and talking to myself and having these conversations with my friend group, just like I'm talking to y'all. And I'm like, okay. And you guys see the better version of me, to be honest with you, because they would see me like in any state. But the reality is, you said let's tap backstory. Let's go. Thank you so much. The reality is, if you're able to look at yourself, if you're able to talk and have a conversation where I say, this is your best friend, you as your best friend, you're having a conversation. And so for me, my mindset was that I'm talking to my best friends. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to the person I love the most, which is me. But also, you know, obviously when I did the glide things, I was talking to my best friends too. And so at the end of the day, that's how I've showed up. I've showed up like, okay, let me just have a conversation. Let me treat this like I'm treating the glide conversations, but a little bit more dressed up. All the best people live in Illinois. Thank you so much. I agree. My Chicago folks, we're family. That's it. That makes sense. And so if you're able to talk to yourself, I would say, you know, just use that as a kind of hopefully a mental flip in terms of saying, okay, you know what? I'm just having a conversation with me. I'm looking at myself. Thank God for God. Yeah. And so the shy, nervous, introverted person still showed up when I had to do this. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted, because this was a new experience. But because of that, I was able to then just instantly kind of shift my mindset to say, okay, you know what? I am not doing anything. This is just like live. And then I have one friend. It's funny because you guys, especially at the beginning, like the chat is not chatting as much right now. So I would tell y'all to chat more. But somebody asked me this a few weeks ago. It was like, how do you keep up with the chat? I got used to the chat because of my friend. She was my chatty friend and she would talk. And I had to go, I was like, girl, what did you say? Oh my God, where's your question? And I was always like that with her. And so just recognize I had practice from her. She was my person that was always chatting in the chat. The thing would go up and you have to look and see, like, what am I answering? I can't keep up with your chat questions. So yeah, leave from the chatty friend. Exactly. That's it. That chatty, everybody got a chatty friend. Roses are sent but not being applied to your goal. Why not? Oh, you know what? It has to be individual. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have said that. Let me repin it. Has to be one rose per person. That's how it goes. One rose per person. So that's how it goes. You say you're a pro. I'm a pro because of the chatty friend. Thank you guys. We met the goal. I appreciate you all. That chatty friend, I'm gonna tell her that. I'll say her name because it's a common name. Her name is Nicole. So I will say it. She is the chatty friend in my life. So she is the one that will keep us all on our toes when we're doing the glides and we're chatting and stuff and doing the video chats. But that's the friend. So let's go back to mindset. Okay, so two things I wanted to talk about really quickly. So when it comes to mindset, and thank you guys for reaching the goal. It says achieving with the roses. Two things that we often do. We we always need a chatty friend, especially with us introverts. I know. You know what? That is true. I didn't think about it from an introvert perspective. You're right. She is the friend, though. She's the friend when we went on our little vacation a couple months ago. She was the one where you get in the car with the Uber driver or something like that. She's gonna chat and keep the conversation going, and so it's not that awkward silence in the car. So she's that person for us, and we can count on her to start the conversation, start the party. And I will tell you right now, I don't think she feels that she's an introvert either. I mean, an extrovert, but she clearly is. She is going to ask questions. She's going to be the life of the party and communicate. And you just got to sit back and let her do her. She said, "You said I'm an ambivert. I think I am too. I think I am too. Yes, I can relate. You can relate." Yes, we all do. Yes. So she's that person. We us introverts, we need that person. Yes. Thank you for responding. You're welcome. You're welcome. I respond. So if you guys have questions, like I said, I will respond. I don't want you all, again, like I said, this is the mindset shift conversation. So we're gonna talk very clearly about the mindset. If you guys have questions about the mechanics of going live and all that stuff, I'll answer that too. But we're gonna talk about mindset because I want you to walk away recognizing that first of all, you're not alone in terms of how you're thinking. I think we've all, for the most part, have been there. I think there's also obviously the newness and getting out your comfort zone. So you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself around people that can support you as you press that go live button, but also as you continue to show up. And so I said earlier, I've been able to show up because I feel a sense of responsibility and and now I'm like, okay, you know what? This has been part of my makeup for the last 5 months. So to just stop cold turkey, I don't think I could do it. So I recognize that now I have to continue to do it because I'm like, okay, what am I doing at 10 and 4? What's happening now? I should be doing something at 10 and 4 every day. So that's how I feel now. Thank you so much, Short Stuff. I'm an introvert, but I can be chatty if activated. Yes. Yes. Toy, you said yes as well. Yes. I'm nervous to go back live because my ex goes live with thousands of viewers and lies off cam about me. Oh gosh, you have a whole situation, friend. Kelly, what? Kylie, what? You have a whole situation. You may want to make sure you block. Maybe you change your username and nickname, and you either start a new account. Not yeah, not this account. Okay, good. And then, well, and really with the other account too. And so I changed my username last night. Did you really? Honestly, Carolyn, how are you, friend? I love it. I love that. Look at you. How are you? Thank you for showing up. Um, I was thinking that too. Exactly. You're probably gonna have to remove yourself from that algorithm where you two are there. You know you could do a reset. You could reset your algorithm too. So some people don't. I mean, you're nervous about doing that, especially if you built up your page. But this account is new, so it's a new account, and you do need a bio. And so, but you could reset it, and you could reset it where you don't see that person. It'll be like you're now on the other side of the country for TikTok. Okay, so I think that's something you might want to consider too. The information you provide is very useful. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Toya. I appreciate you, friend. Yes, awesome. Prayers and blessings up. Thank you so much, Bob Bill. I appreciate you. How do I reset? When you go into on your profile screen, three lines in the top corner, um, click that. Go to settings and privacy. Scroll down, and I think it's like a it's probably called it's something reset, like factory reset or uh, some type of reset that you see as you scroll down. You'll see it. You'll see it as one of the options towards the like now you're in the bottom half of the account of that screen. Wow, thank you so much. Glad I found you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Just reset it. Now, like I said, this is a new account. Maybe the other account that he's on, just reset it. And so you guys won't see each other. Make sure you block him. That's the other thing. Make sure you block him and block anybody else that is part of his crew. And so out of sight, out of mind. I have to remind myself. So honestly, Carolyn gives giving you real talk, real reviews, unapologetically. Oh, I love that. Nice. I love that. I know what you're talking about. I didn't realize that that's what I did. It did. Yep. Yep. So yeah, definitely do that. Yep. Um, yeah, you could definitely do that. And that way that person's out of your TikTok universe. You guys are in two different parts of the country for TikTok. Okay. And that's fine. Out of sight, out of mind. And like I said, there's people like that where you have again situations where you don't want your family, you don't want your friends, you don't want them to see you. You got this account. So if you go live in your mind, you're thinking like, if I go live, they're going to see me. I'm going to pop up for them. And at the end of the day, they have to follow you. It's funny. My friends, the ones I was talking about, they don't follow me. And so they was like, well, when do you go live? What do you do? I said, hey, you guys need to follow me if you want to see me. And so then once they start following me, then they would see me. But beyond that, they don't see you. And so you can block those people so that they never see you. If that's the case, if you really want to not be bothered, okay, you can block them so they will never have to see you. So that is an option for you. Um, and I would encourage you, I said this a little earlier today in my first live. Hello, Terry. Thank you so much, all who are coming in. Make sure you like and share out the live as well. Um, and so matter of fact, I didn't share my own live. Let me share my live. What I will tell you, thank you so much, friends, is that it may be a great best practice if you have somebody who, again, like I said, if that person is not a champion, that person is not supporting you in your journey, if that person or people do not help to uplift you and make you think about things that you could be doing that is radically different than what you're already doing. If you don't have that in your life, and if you have the opposite in your life where they're negative and all this other stuff, then those are people you don't want to tell that you're going live and doing this type of social media. And you don't want to make sure you want to make sure that you don't have access to them and they don't have access to your profile. So just kind of keep that separate, because at the end of the day, you want to do something that is going to uplift you, empower you to be a better version than what you are today. And so recognizing this gives you that opportunity, to talk about what you value and what you think is important. And guess what? There are going to be other people that have the same thoughts and feelings about it. So you are not alone. You will quickly find out in consistency and engagement that you are not alone in this. Okay. And if you do see you, if they do see you, they will be viewing a brighter, better version of you. Ooh, defining. Dana, I love that. I love that. That's true. That is absolutely true. Yeah, that is absolutely true. And I'm back swiped away. Did you really? Don't lose any points, friend. I have a good army behind me, but I still get anxiety going live. I have to defeat. Yes. Oh, I love that too. Yes, yes. I mean, honestly, I love what Define Dana said, because that's it. As you grow. So I will tell you, and I posted about this. This is probably deep in my post now. When if you get a chance and you get some late night time where you're having insomnia, and you need something to make you go to sleep, come to my page, scroll all the way down, and see me when I started. Okay. Go and see my page and my content, binge watch my content, and take a look and see how I started. And then Fast forward to the more recent posts, you'll see how I've evolved, how things have kind of grown for me. I can tell the difference. I see it in my own self. You said, "Love that I will." You will. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. That is so true. It is. Just finished my live. Look at you, friend. Thank you. Come in. Come in. How are you? How did it go? Bridget, how did it go, friend? Thank you for your inspiring. Oh, you're welcome. Just right, evolution is key. It is. I can tell the difference. I can tell the difference in everything I've done. No, seriously, I love that. He said, no, seriously, I really do love that. Yeah. And so just recognize, and so this is 5 months of growth. So I've gone live since January 1st, and I've been going live almost every day. I say I missed 3 days in those 5 months. But recognizing that I'm showing up, and I'm showing up since February, I'm showing up twice a day. So with that, you're going to improve. You're going to get better. There's no way I couldn't have gotten better. It's one of those things where, okay, you do something long enough, you're going to improve. That's how life is. Whether you're on an exercise regimen or dieting or whatever you're doing, you do it long enough, you get better. Okay, wow, 5 months is still young. I know, I'm still young. You you seem so. You said I seem so mature. So mature in your journey, friend. Practice become Trisha, I say practice makes progress. We don't seek perfection here. Perfection. That is not what we're doing. Because, again, those are the things that we're wired to think, that you have to be perfect and everything has to be aligned and there's this right way of doing things. I don't look for right. I don't look for perfection. I look for just starting. Okay. And yes, Michelle, she's watching me on YouTube. She knows darn well that I just hit the go live button on YouTube and I'm not doing none of that correctly, y'all. But I'm doing it. And I could have easily said, no, I'm not going to start. But I was like, you know what? Let me just co-stream. Let me at least start here. And I'll start here and I'll grow and I'll get more followers and I'll get, well, they call them subscribers over there. I'll get more subscribers and I'll just do that as a way to continue to grow my page and my channel. But at the same time, I know I need to do some back end things like my thumbnails, my titles, my descriptions need to be improved, the keywords, the tags, all the things that are part of the back end operations and setup for your channel on YouTube. I could optimize. I could definitely improve that. And so I know what I need to do. I just need to sit my behind down and do it. Anybody who was here yesterday, I said I was going to do thumbnails by June 1st. So I was going to take baby steps with getting my goals done. I did my thumbnails yesterday, okay? I did them. I have them in draft form because I was like, you know what? I didn't put that out here on TikTok and on YouTube. So now I got to do something about it. So I sat down and did my homework last night. I was like, I'm just going to stay up and just work on them. So then when I'm ready to use them, I have them and I'm not stressing about having thumbnails that I can use. So that is something I did do for my homework. So he said, still young, practice. Yes, thanks so much. I have to pick up my son. Oh, thank you for being here, friend. Thanks for coming in. You're right. Yes. If you want support on your lives for us, let us know. That's true. Yes. This is a room of supporters. Yes. Practice makes progress. Amen. Progress. I love that. Yep. That's it. You are in it for growing, the growth journey. That's what you're doing. That's what the way you need to think about it. I'm in here for the growth. I'm not in here for perfection. I'm not in here. And I will say this, my people, my digital marketer people in the room, you might want to start off saying, I'm not in here for the money either. Okay? Because not to say that there's not money to be earned, because on TikTok it's a faster pace to monetization, more so than TikTok. Than YouTube. But what happens is, how you doing, the Sylvan Mom? How you doing, friend? Thank you so much, Trina. I appreciate you coming here. What happens is that it takes time. And so my very first live, I made 7 cents. Now, that average person might have been a little insulted now. And in the second live, it was 3 cents. So the average person may have really been insulted, okay? But knowing that 7, the 3, then the 11, then the 24, and then the 52, all those numbers will start adding up. It'll start compounding. Things will get better. You'll improve. People will start coming to your room. So there is a monetization. You have to be patient. That's the thing. A lot of people hit that go live once or twice, get awkward, leave, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, I'm not going to do it anymore. The reality is you have to be patient. You have to keep doing it, okay? You just take the next step. Yeah, right step. That's it. Align is a lifelong process. Yes, that is unique to each of us. It is. I love that. It is unique to each of us. I'm going to reset that mindset. Practice becomes progress. Yes. I am scared. And TikTok said, what did it say to you? It got cut off. What happened? Yes, it's a great mindset shift. That's it. You got to shift that mindset. Yay for you. Yes. That's it. Absolutely, friends. Let me go back up. What did TikTok say to you, friend Bridget? Yeah, good for you being intentional. That's it. Hey, hey, how you doing, Solving Mom? We'll try again tomorrow. What happened? You know what? TikTok filtered you, so you will get filtered, people. I just want to make sure you guys know that TikTok will do it. It's not me. If you said a comment and I didn't respond, it's TikTok. It's not me. But yeah, it filtered whatever happened. TikTok said, and then it cut off. I didn't see the rest of it. So I'm assuming something happened with your live that you did. 3 cents is proof of concept. That's it. I love that. Proof of concept. Look, something worked, didn't it? Didn't it? We're going to clap to that. Something worked. Must change your mindset. That's it. There is a penalty for being impatient on this app. Say that again. There's a penalty for being impatient on this app. Oh, I think I like that. I like that. Interesting. Yeah. So let's unbox that, because if you're rushing and you want to be impatient and you stop participating, you stop engaging, you stop posting, you stop doing your live, the algorithm forgets you. That is true. If that's where you were going with that, you got to restart its memory of you. So yeah, to a certain extent, to your point, if that's where you were going with that, I don't know if that's where you were going, but that makes sense. That's true. Diamond, why does what happen? TikTok, why are you messing with people? I don't see your original comment. I go on live and ramble. Oh, there's a strategy for that. You just have to create your outline. Create your outline, have some talking points, know your content to a certain extent, obviously, but have some talking points. And you can have an outline of what you're going to talk about. So right now, I wrote a couple things down. Got a couple things on my note that I want to say to you all. And I honestly, it's funny because I've been talking and I ain't hit neither one of those talking points yet. But I did have something written down. We still haven't gone live. What's that? I'm mortified of all the rules. Oh, you get used to that. You get used to that getting busy. I'm sorry. I should not wave that off. I'm going to say this. You do get used to it, okay? And what happens, and so this is why I said practice makes progress. Because as you go live, you go to different rooms where people are sharing different tips and strategies for going live. That's totally fine. As you start engaging in the process, though, you'll realize, oh, well, let me touch this, let me tap that, let me get enhancements. So it becomes more familiar. It's like having a new job. When you go through to a new job, you got this 90-day probationary period. You start a job, you're trying to get accustomed to their lingo and all the acronym suits that they do, all the different things that they say. We've all been there. Hello, friend. And then now you have to figure out how to do this task and how to do this thing that they do very specifically that's different from the last place that you did it. All that you get familiar with. And so by 90 days, you become a little bit more familiar and comfortable, and you could tell the new person coming in after you, oh, here's what I've done, here's what I did, or here's how you do it effectively. So similar process and concept. It won't take you 90 days. It shouldn't take you 90 days to get used to this. It may take you a couple of weeks though, okay? But if you're showing up daily, you're pressing the button, you're asking questions. People come in. There's some things that I kind of stay in my lane to a certain extent. And so I stay right here in my lane. And then when needed, I might venture off, or somebody like a Coach Miss Jessie or Alicia or somebody else say, Dr. Lisa, have you did this? Have you heard this? Have you done? I was like, wait a minute, let me go ahead and touch that. So I'll do little stuff like that. But there's certain things I'll venture off to here and there. But certain things I'm like, you know what? I don't need that right now, y'all. I'm good. Thank you, even I have points. What happened now? Now I got to correct. Yes, ma'am. That I violated something about a product. Oh, Bridget, that was a shoppable live you did? Let me know what you, so you did a shoppable live? Shoppable lives are interesting. Shoppable lives are interesting. It's funny. So let me ask this, Bridget, and I don't want to make assumptions about. You said no, you didn't do a shoppable live. Oh, okay. Well, then I won't ask my question. Because I was going to ask in terms of training for shoppable lives, but um, okay. So what? So what product were you showing? What did you do? Are you a business account? Let me know. That's probably the answer. That's probably the question. Are you a business account? They're really strict. If you're a business account, you got to talk about business stuff. You got to talk about your products. No, then I don't know what you did, friend. Uh, Thank you so much for coming in. I see you, my friends, on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We're talking about going live and we're talking about mindset shift. I appreciate you. Let me know if you gone live and you're live streaming in the chat. Okay, not me either. Interesting, friend. What did you do? Interesting. I don't know. I think we might have said something we weren't supposed to. Um, what you mean in terms of you talking about now? Let me know. That's how my restriction came up too well, to Dr. Lisa. Interesting. It said a restriction for a product. I wonder if, yeah, I don't know. Hold on one second. Let me catch up on Lala. You said that's so true. Never thought of it like that. Oh, you're welcome, friend. I see the sub stickers. Practice makes progress. Yes, you must keep TikToking. Exactly. I'm about to film my first content video. Look at you, Nika. I didn't. I need to start snooping on your page, friend. I had no idea you had no content. Okay. But about, yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Okay. Um, so yeah, still. Well, let me say this: since getting busy was mortified, I don't want to scare my friends from going live. TikTok does have restrictions. Um, Again, it just depends on what you were doing in the live. I don't know. So let me put this out there. Every time I go live, I turn on my content disclosure. I do that 100% of the time. 100% of the time. I don't know. It is one of those things, especially since I'm now doing the YT piece of it. I want to be able to say the name every now and then. I do say it, so I use the initials and stuff. And so I don't want to get in trouble because I said that, and my brand speaks to going live, social media, understanding how you need to brand yourself, all those things. So I want to be able to say different names without TikTok getting jealous. Okay, but TikTok will still get jealous. That's what they do. And so recognize that if you have your content disclosure on, that gives you a little bit more leeway to say things that are associated with your brand identity. So I wonder, I don't know. I guess I don't have enough information to really speak to what specifically could have happened. My shift taught me to be interested today. Oh, that this ought to be interesting. Yes, empowered. How are you, friend? Heard you have to mention, say that again. Hold on one second. Heard that products are for sale in the settings somewhere, maybe. Interesting. It doesn't sound like that was the case though. Hello, how you doing, friends? Oh, Michelle, you got me. Thank you so much. I see you came back. I have no content either. Oh, defining. Friend. what is what is the delay? You almost have 1,000 followers too. You know what? You gotta post something. You gotta post something soon. Yes, went live several times for the last month, and I have my launch party tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Thank you, Kayla. Look at you. What's the launch party? Yes. What's the launch party about? What do you mean by that? Tell me what the launch party is. Use ChatGPT to get current list of restrictions. Oh, that's a good idea. See what happens. Yeah, I would definitely ask that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Um, I like that. Yeah, and I know they just updated the content, the community guidelines. So there's a couple other things that they're doing. So you may have um, fell into some of those new guidelines that are out there. But again, I don't know what could have been said from a product perspective. So I'm not sure in terms of what you were showing or if you had a label. I tell you, and I tell people all the time, the streaming here is different from streaming on other platforms. So when you're streaming here, you can't show. I'm really leery about showing um, different backgrounds in other places, like showing myself on scene somewhere. I've never streamed that way because they're particular about product placements, like labels of companies. So that's part of it. They're very strict about attire. So somebody in your video could be, dressed a little bit more provocative, and they're like, and they will shut your live down. So because of that, I just stay right here in my lane. Stay right here. You see my little artwork in the background. You see my face. That's what you see. If I have to drink water, I drink it off the screen. I'm really very focused on just staying present here and then make this part of my live experience, but not the other stuff. So you'll notice that about people in other rooms too, that they try to stay focused and stay more or less stationary. You do see some people trying to walk around, but I will tell you, they may have gotten a violation just because of that activity. So you never know what they've experienced on the back end because they've done that. Hello, how you doing, Anita? Hello, Dr. Lisa. How you doing, Mariette? I see you, friend. I have to leave. You got to go. Oh, okay. I'm flying. Oh, really? Awesome, awesome. My pilot in the room. How are you, friend? Appreciate you stopping through, flying through real quick. Thank you so much. Let me catch up on a few comments. I'm part of a very supportive group for TikTok Shop affiliates, and they are knowledgeable. That's good. Yeah, we're part of I said we, because I know a few of us in the room. Thank you so much, Curated by Holly Q. Appreciate the popular vote. I told you earlier you were in my head. I'm scared. Don't be scared. Anita, congratulations on that level 12. Is there a place where we can see their rules and regulations? Balani, yes. When you go on to your profile, where your profile faces, where your screen is, click TikTok Studio. Right at the top, they've now created the Creator Academy. And that's where the community guidelines are located. There's also a new, the Creator Rules and Regulations or something like that. I forgot what they said. Code of Conduct, Creator Code of Conduct, that's what it's called. So that's where you want to go. And so you can go there and kind of binge read all of that. It's a lot. It's a lot there, but yeah, that's where you want to go. I'm so curious to know how this is messing our actual. So say that again. I am curious to know how this is messing our actual lives. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Trying to thrive in prayer menopause myself. Happy to connect. Oh, look at there. There we go. Yes. The water drip gangster lean. Yes, me too. Exactly. I was like, TikTok, you don't get me for drinking no water, but I'll do it on the side here. I am a consumer almost all day, every day, but have not gotten courage to start posting. Oh, you gotta post. Yeah, you gotta post something because the algorithm, you're probably missing out. You're not gonna be able to do some of those other monetization programs if you're not posting content. Because you're a creator, you're a content creator, so you got to create content. So you got to post something. You have balance. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Brand name can't be visible in lives. Okay, there we go. There we go. And so if you did show a name of something, that was probably it. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thanks for the information. You are welcome. Good afternoon to all. So, okay, let me go to my little note here because I've been chatting for an hour. Because I got here on time, y'all. That is unusual lately. So a cat that keeps me present. You have a cat that keeps you present. Went in and asked them what I did wrong. Made sure that there was no writing on my shirt. Interesting. So you did the appeal. That's good. Did they approve your appeal? You're welcome to Dr. Oh, thank you so much, friend. Did they approve your appeal? Bridget, I wonder if that's what you're saying. I think that's what you're saying. Thank you so much. A long weekend. Hello, Live Legion. How are you, friend? I appreciate you in the popular vote. The long weekend, holiday weekend, I'm going to post. There we go. That's it. Just do it. Just do it. So, okay, mindset shift. Let's get back to the mindset. So, my friends, hello. You know what? Let me ask my question here because I owe you a text. Let me ask my question. So, this is a twofold question because because I was supposed to text you, but I got distracted. I didn't get a chance to text. I actually posted on my other page, so that's what I ended up having to do. Okay, so first question. I've had, you said tell a friend to tell a friend I am still accepting applications. Okay, so let me ping your comments. So this is Jessica. She's with Live Lesions. She is, um, she is um, I was looking at a comment here. I think that's a deletion, but I'll delete in a second or remove it. So Live Legion is a TikTok shop live host agency. She's an agency. She says she's still accepting applications. She was in my live a couple weeks ago where she was actively promoting lives, her agency, and recognizing that she is helping people, coaching them with TikTok shop in particular. So that's why I asked the question earlier, Bridget, about training and support and stuff. So I wanted to make sure you was getting the right support. Um, Jessica Live Legion is amazing, especially for new TikTok shop live hosts, and you're trying to understand the rules and regulations and what you can and can't do, what you can and can't post, how you need to present the products, and talk about the features and benefits both in your video content as well as your shoppable content as well as your shoppable live. So she has all the great, I mean, really, really a wealth of information and knowledge. So I wholeheartedly support and back what she's doing because she is doing it the right way, people. So, um, so Jessica, got a couple questions for you now. You're one happy lady. I like the way you laugh all the time. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's it. You just have to enjoy what you're doing, friend. That's it. You'll get frazzled here and there, but for the most part, you just love what you're doing. Be yourself, be natural, and people will respond to that. So that's important. Question. There was one of my friends in this, I don't think she's in the live today. She was in my 10 o'clock. She wanted to, well, the question really was if you have a business account, what I've seen it happen twice for people. If you have a business account where they're now getting TikTok Shop for Creator. And so the initial assumption is that if you're a business account, you cannot get into the TikTok Shop Creator program. What's changed in that messaging? Like, so how are people able to do it? Is that something that they're now testing? And I jokingly said, well, you know what? If you could sell your own products, you could sell other people's products. And so maybe they're just giving it to everybody now. Is that kind of the thinking now that now anybody, no matter if you're a business or a creator, you can now have TikTok Shop for the affiliate program? So we're talking about this person from her account. She is a business account. Obviously I didn't validate that, but she says she is a business account. She has TikTok Shop for Creator. Now, I made the assumption something has changed. Let me ask a TikTok partner. Thank you. Okay, appreciate you. So that is the assumption. Something has changed. And so, yeah, so she now has access, and she's like, okay, what do I do with this? Is this truly TikTok Shop for affiliate? And I said, well, it sounds like it. So I put her in contact with you because of that. Let me know. You're still accepting applications. I'll message you my other question because I don't want to put it on here because I don't want you to. If you need to think about my other question, I'll ask it privately and I'll bring it back to the group in terms of how people should. Well, let me ask it this way: what's the best way for people to come to you and ask you questions? What I've been doing is sharing your profile. Are you? Is there other ways that people should be able to contact you if they have questions? Is it 100% the profile? So I ask my question offline and word that differently in a text message to you too. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you so much. So we're going to shift back to the mindset. Like I said, this is a mindset edition. We are talking all things about the right mindset. If you are going to engage in this, how you doing, Chris Pie? Chris Pie, man. Hello, friend. How are you? How you doing, Harvey? I thank you for being here as well. Appreciate you being here, friend. Let me know if there's any other questions. And if you guys have questions for Jessica Live Legion, she is in the room. So you guys feel free to ask her. I always check my DMs. That's good. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to continue to tell people to reach out to you via DM. Okay, so that's going to be my official method to say how to connect with you. Awesome. All right. And so with that, you can definitely ask Jessica questions. She's in the house. And if you guys are interested in TikTok Shop, like I said, I fully endorse it in terms of being with people who can give you the right training. Again, making sure, and this is back to the mindset conversation, making sure you're surrounding yourself around people who are going to uplift you, encourage you, and give you feedback that is useful feedback. Okay. Okay, not feedback telling you, well, why are you over there on them TikTok streets doing the different things over there with content creation and live hosting. You want to be with somebody that's going to give you feedback that says, okay, you know what? You need to post. Here's some tips on how you need to post. Okay? Here's some things that you need to know when you're doing TikTok shop videos. Here's some things you need to do if you're going to click the go live button, and how do you engage your audience and make sure that you're growing your community. So that's what you want to do. You want to have people who are going to feed into you. Oh, my friend Rumi, you want to make sure you don't dry tag. When you dry tag, let me just show, because I'm always a trainer, I'm an educator. So when you just type somebody's name like that and don't put a message behind it, that's called dry tagging. So TikTok will end up blocking you, and you end up having to leave the room too, because it becomes disruptive to the room when you dry tag. So you got to be careful with that. So always put a message, and don't use words like scoop and followed and gotcha. That's grow room culture. You want to say hello, how are you, good afternoon, those type of things. You always want to put a message instead of dry tagging. Thank you so much, Tech. How are you, Tech Trans with E? How are you doing, friend? Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so when you let's get back to mindset. So when you're talking about getting the right community around you, you want to make sure you are hello friend, that you are having people in your ear that are going to support you. Okay, so one of the things, I had my two notes. There's two things that popped up in what I wanted to speak to. How you doing, Amanda? When you are talking about your mindset and have a mindset shift, there are two things that we constantly do to ourselves. Okay, we are looking for my thing I say we don't do, perfection. Okay, we're looking for perfection. We're looking for all the right way to do things. Okay, we use the word right. I just want to know what to do. What's the right way? What's the correct way? I want to make sure I do it correctly. I want to do it right. We use that oftentimes as almost a crutch to say, okay, if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's oftentimes. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate your friend. Thank you for being there. And if I can't do it right, then I'm not going to do it at all. Okay, so true. Right is highly individualized. It is. It is. And we often do it again as a way to validate why we don't start something, because I didn't do it right, or I couldn't do it right, or I don't know how to do it, and so we don't start it at all. You said that's me. Yeah. I mean, that's all of us. We always want to know, especially us type A people, so me included. We always want to know the right way. And I had to unlearn that and realize, you know what? I just need to do it. And what happened, I want to be successful on the platform, but do it with ease and while giving myself grace. That's it. Me. Yep. We use that as a crutch to say we're not going to start, or we use it as a crutch to say, well, that's why it didn't work for me, because I didn't know the right way to do it. So I did it a few times and it wasn't right. So I'm done. I quit. Okay. And so what happened to me is that, being a parent, so being a parent for older, young adult teens, and then the little 5-year-old, I recognized that in this past year, he was growing and developing. You kind of able to step back and look at yourself. So when I was a parent for my daughter, obviously, she's almost 20 now. As a new parent, I was very much into, the parenting process. And I was like, okay, here's what she needs to do. And I actually rushed maybe a lot of her development. I tell you all the time, I was a helicopter parent with him, and this might be just the second child thing. When you have your second child, you're like, well, wait a minute, it's fine. He can pick that fry off the floor and eat it. He'll live. Those type of attitudes. I didn't do that, y'all. I did not do that. Don't call no services on me. But my point of saying is, they consume more more of the things that you let it go. You're not pressured about all the perfection things. We're making sure their hands are super clean. And now that I do wash his hands, I do wash his hands quite a bit. But you're not consumed with the pressure of parenting on the first time around. But for the second, you said correct. But for the second one, it's one of those things where my phone is overheating. My phone is not acting up today. Let's see. My phone is telling me, you know what? You need a new phone. You've been doing this new stuff. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to him that he's not getting the helicopter mom. Well, you know what? He's getting a more at ease mom too, because I'm not stressing. So when he was playing basketball, I tell you this story all the time. I told the story earlier today where he was on the basketball this little basketball program. It just ended this past Sunday. It's like a 7-week program. So we went 2 weeks ago, and for him, he had the ball, he was dribbling, he's still learning how to dribble, he's still learning how to shoot. And he had the ball, and some kids was trying to get the ball from him and stuff, and he was moving around, running around the court, and then he got really upset. And he got upset. He said, he was upset and like crying upset. He was like, well, I said, well, what's wrong? Why don't you just dribble and shoot? He was like, because they're following me. I don't like them following me. And I was like, well, they're trying to get the ball. That's basketball. So we had like this whole moment, and realizing for him, he has to understand the sport. He had to understand the rules. He had to make sure he understood how to do it. And for him, he wanted to quit. And so he said, that's so funny. It is. It was like, you know what? I should have recorded that dude. Because, like, okay, from a month from now, you're going to be like, yeah. So, or years from now. But he has to understand the rules. For him, he really is fixated on, okay, if I can't do this, then I'm going to be upset. And then, obviously, for him, he didn't understand the concept of the other kids following him. Bless his little heart. I know, that baby. But I use that as an example of, when you're young like that, you realize there are some things that you end up learning along the way. And we could have easily said, you're not going to play basketball anymore. What my husband actually did, and is downstairs now, he ended up, going online and getting him like a little indoor basketball hoop. Because he was like, okay, well, you know what? My son just can't be out here not knowing how to play basketball. I think his own ego was kind of scarred a little bit. He's like, yeah, I guess I didn't tell him the premise of the sport. And so he's dribbling. We talking about dribbling stuff, but yeah, people are going to follow you with the ball. They go up for the ball. And so now he's training him. But I wanted to just go back to, I know they gotta learn. They gotta learn. But we're wired to think in our perfectionist mindset that everything, we have to know the rules. We have to know how to do things before we engage. We want to know the rules of engagement. And that's fine to know and understand that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. What I'm saying is that I don't want you to use that as a crutch to say, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to engage until I know all the rules. Because guess what? The rules are going to change. The rules literally just changed yesterday on this app. So the stuff I said, some of the rules are changing. And so you still got to learn and engage. You got to participate in the process. And you'll learn as you go. So I wanted to write that down because I kept hearing that. And I meet with a lot of you individually. And it's a lot of stuff surrounding, like you guys are asked, what's the guidelines? What's this? What's that? What, how do I do things? And at the end of the day, sometimes you have to do it messy. Sometimes you might get that little screen where you get a violation on the screen. Now, I'll say this, and I hadn't talked about it much. It just happened to me the other day. TikTok put a little screen up here said I did a violation. I was like, well, what the heck? What did I do? And I clicked appeal, and then it went away. I was like, huh? I was like, all right, well, I don't understand what I did. But the thing is, you just go with it. Now, if I was a new person, I'd be like, oh, no, I'm never going to go live again. I don't understand what just happened. But recognize you could do it, and you can continue to do it. And then there's so many different, strikes that you get before you actually are banned. So you got a little opportunity to learn along the way. Okay, we should take the changing landscape as a challenge. I know that algo is annoying, but just jump in. That's it. I love that. Yeah. So now that the algorithm is changing, you come in fresh eyes, fresh perspective, and you don't have all the jaded stuff that some of us from the past have. And so, like I said, I think the algorithm changing is okay. I think it's a good thing. I mean, in terms of if TikTok, and here's probably what's happening. If I can be somewhat of a conspiracy theorist about what's happening behind the scenes. The app is still in this temporary status. And so they're trying to make sure that whatever's going to happen to the app, that they are positioning themselves for success. And a lot of the questions about this platform was about transparency questions. Who's running what, who has what data, what's going on with information, all this other stuff. And so they're trying to make sure that they're as transparent as possible. So we're seeing guidelines and Creator Academy and some of the other information that's being, you said bingo. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. And so that's what you're seeing. There's this image cleanup that's happening. And then also, when you do the comparison between what's happening with this app compared to the other apps, it is, I like the transparency. I do too. I think it's important. It is about their brand. So you got people over here, and obviously I do favor TikTok. I think TikTok is easy to navigate, it's easy to engage, it's easier in terms of live streaming than the other platforms because you literally are talking to yourself. So right now I'm on YouTube. It pushed some people in my room for a minute, but again, I think my style is also facing TikTok. But with that being said, you don't have the same engagement that you get over here, that you don't have that engagement on the other apps. So the algorithm is just different. And then obviously the aesthetic is different too in terms of how you post content, who posts content, what the content looks like. And so you don't have that the same issues in terms of your content creation. So because of that, they are trying to improve the content creation too. So they're talking about high quality videos and some other things that they want you to pay attention to. So they're trying to improve their image. And again, when you think about brand deals and other brands coming to the app for TikTok Shop, thank you so much, friend. All of that matters. So just recognize that there is a method to the madness that's happening here, and the rules that they're putting in place is going to unnerve some people because maybe they were participating in some bad actions, and then other people, we're just going to have to adapt to it. Okay, so that's what I would say about the content creation. The other thing is so I was 2 points. 2 points was the perfectionist thing, having everything right, mindset shift, back to that topic. The other thing is time. Cleaning, the house cleaning is happening. It is. Yeah. And so it's really a good time, like Q said. It's a good time. Thank you so much, nurse. Appreciate your friend. It is a good time to be on the app because you're going to have the opportunity to be a part of this while at the early onset of this change and transition, so that you can participate ideally, in a way that is going to keep you within the guidelines and community guidelines and stuff. So you'll be fine. Hello, welcome. Thanks for the information. You are so welcome. The other thing I will say when it comes to the mindset shift is time. And oftentimes we are stressed, we're overwhelmed. There's a lot of people pulling on our time, whether it's your job, whether it is your family, whether it is, other responsibilities that you may have. That time to yourself, to do something for yourself, often is not available, or we are filling it with things that are not going to really advance us. Okay, so it becomes almost like a crutch to keep things status quo because we don't want to disrupt, our day-to-day lives, the flow that we have going on. So I would say you would have to make a conscious decision to make this shift in your time, to make this work. And so a lot of people don't do that. The mind tells you. That's why I said the mindset shift. The mind says, well, no, you don't have time for that. There's not enough hours in the day. You can't do that. Now, you guys heard me. I don't know if some of you in the room or not. You guys heard me recently pull up that that because of my streaming for the last 5 months, I've hit 500 hours. Like TikTok said, girlfriend, you just hit the 500-hour mark, which is great. And I shared the story of my husband and I told him that. We went to dinner the other day and we were sitting there talking, and I said, hey, I just hit 500 hours. He said, yeah, I can believe that. You've been on this app a lot. I can believe that. And I said, well, what would I have done with that time? What would I have done if I, with that time in other ways? He said, you would have been on the sofa watching TV, watching Netflix, watching some period, drama show or HGTV, like recognizing that we fill our time with the things that we want to do. And that's what I would have wanted to do. However, what does it mean to do something else radically different that's going to take you out your comfort zone? And that's what this created. an opportunity for me to shift in a way that I would have never done if it wasn't for me thinking differently and shifting my mindset and pouring those positive messages from my other page and just making sure I was mentally preparing myself to be, in the forefront, because I had to face this account first. And so for me to make that shift, I had to radically shift my thinking, but also create the time to do it. So I think it's important to show me we can operate in an evolving environment. Yes, I love that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I'm starting to feel like I need more time in my day. Pivoting seems so hard sometimes. It is, but you got to find the time, and you could do it. Really, when you look at your schedule and what you do each day, like maybe that's a test, a challenge for yourself, where you sit back and say, "What do I do each hour of the day? Let me just track myself, track what I'm doing." And then you just figure out how you can shift that, because there's TV watching, obviously. There's talking to your friends and those social connections, totally fine. There is opportunity in the morning where you're sitting back and you're maybe scrolling and looking at other people's content. That's all things that you're doing with that time. So then it's a question of how do you reallocate that time in a way that you can actually now use it to do something radically different. And if you could find at least 30 minutes to show up in this space, then you could see yourself advancing and growing and building in more time. So that's what it's about. Can you say again what you just said about time? Find you some time. Find some time, friend. No, what hello. Um so yeah, definitely find you some time. But no, let me I'm gonna repeat that, friend. Chatting. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, that's it. Exactly. We just be caught up on the shows on social media, no matter who we are we are get to create. Yeah, we get to create it. Yep, that's it. Time management. That's it. Time management. That's what TT did, brought me out of my comfort zone. It did, Mr. Arlene. I applaud you, friend. Seriously. You are really the poster child of somebody who was on this app saying, I am not going live. I like this lady. I'll come to her live and listen to her, but I'm not doing it. And she finally was like, let me hit the go live button. I'm gonna do a faceless. All right, let me hit the go live button. I'm gonna show my face now. So I love that, friend. Your phone tracks you. Yes, it does. Hello. Never mind. Ditto. What happened? Suddenly, Susie, you said, never mind. You got it. I appreciate that. I had to call. I had a call coming in. Oh, okay. Got you. You want me to repeat it for real? Ditto time, please. Yeah. Okay. Dion. Hello, Dion. How are you, friend? Time management is critical. I love that. Yeah, Miss Sterling, you laughing at me. Yes, I applaud you. I still work a regular job, so time is an issue. So here's the deal. And don't get me wrong. I get it, a regular job. Now, my regular job has not seen much of my time on the end, which is, I mean, obviously I'm leaving it at the end of this month. But with that being said, um, it does take that shift to say, okay, what do I value? Maybe I don't value this work no more. Maybe I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Maybe I've outgrown this work. Maybe I need to figure out something else I want to do. I like the flexibility of having this opportunity to do something radically different. I like the engagement I'm getting here. So for me, it was something that obviously my husband and I had to talk about and say, okay, is this the right time to do this? Is this something we can do with you making this shift in how you've been operating? And we both agreed. Let's make a go at it. So that's a personal decision. I don't, you guys, I don't talk about that because I don't want you guys to go back and be like, oh, Dr. Lisa said to leave your job and do all this other stuff. I don't know what's happening in your household. I don't assume I know. What I will say though is that you could make time, and people do make time to do things that they want to do, whether it's the morning time that you can do it or something in the evening. So or even lunch. I have people who do it during their lunch. And so what I'm saying is that this becomes one of these moments where if you're going to do a mindset shift, oftentimes time, and that's why I wrote it down, time becomes one of the biggest rationales for why people don't do it. That's what I would say. It's the rationale. And not that it's not. I didn't use the word excuse. It's not an excuse. It's how you rationalize things and how you say, well, okay, here's where I need to prioritize my regular job, my day job, income, money, all the things, as opposed to taking that leap of faith. And I did my post today. I said, what if it works out? Because oftentimes we lead in fear, like what if it doesn't work out? And recognizing that you have to say, okay, what if it works out? What if I'm great? What if I'm well received? What if people need me? What if I am successful? What if next year, this time, I've done something that I can build on and it's going to just compound each year that I engage in this way? So that's what this is about, too. It's hard to listen to you and not try to go live. Your voice is so encouraging. What if I'm great? Yes. Drew, I'm watching while I'm driving. I need to know to make that shift some point. Yes, that's it. You are so smart. Oh, thank you. Exactly. Enjoy yourself. I appreciate you. You guys are so funny. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? I'm doing well, Lisa. Thank you so much, friend. Need me time. That is late at night. Just passing by. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you. Yes, the me time. You know, the me time for me has shifted. She's so right. She's so encouraging. I try my best, friends. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's up to you. It's up to you. I don't assume that I know what's happening in y'all households, so I get it. But I do know. I will say this. I do know y'all here on TikTok, on social media. I do know y'all listening, and you may be driving home. You may have just gotten home. You may be preparing your dinner. You're like, this is what I'm gonna listen to, as opposed to whoever else is out there or whatever else is on the television. You guys have made this conscious decision. So what I say is that as you think about how you're using your time, you can allocate it towards the other things that can also improve, your advancement when it comes to going live, building your community, and all the things that come with that. So, yes, ma'am, so true. Yes, happy Wednesday. How you doing, Tammy? I appreciate you, friend. Hello, hello from Georgia. How are you, friend? I am from Florida, Orlando. She is she is correct. I'm busy writing. Look at you. That's the shift I need to make. What is it? What if it works and it's meant to happen? Yeah, that's it. That's I found you on the FYP. Look at you, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Look at TikTok. TikTok said, "Look here, Tammy. You need this go live, this mindset shift edition." um, Hello, everyone. How you doing, Nurse Ingra? Thank you so much. So, what I will say though is that I know it's not for everybody, and so I recognize that. I, however, let me say that differently. Let me say that differently. I agree that it may not be for everybody. If somebody came in a room and said, "Going live is not for everybody," not everybody should be doing it. I don't subscribe to that though, because I think at the end of the day, if you are hearing that narrative, that's that negative mindset stuff, that you can't come here, that you're not meant to be here. And I will say, it is a space for all of us to be in, and you will find your community. And it may not happen for you instantly. It's not, because that's not how the algorithm works. But you will build, you will show up, you will continue to show up. You will set a schedule, and people will come in your room, and you will see that growth. You'll see that transformation if you stay consistent. Um, However, people have to kind of rearrange things in their life when you're thinking about your time and other responsibilities, family responsibilities, other job and work and other responsibilities that you have, and people are counting on you. Those are the things that you have to make space for in terms of how do you shift those priorities in a way that you still can carve out time for you doing what you want to do. And if you have different goals for yourself, different dreams and aspirations, like how do you start building on that instead of default to what if it goes wrong? Yes, you can't think that. You can't think, what if it goes wrong? That's the thing. That's what I posted about. We often do default there. What if it goes wrong? What if nobody shows up? What if I don't know what to say? What if I don't know what to do? What if I can't engage people? What if they don't respond? And so those are the things that will keep us from saying, okay, well, what if it goes well? What if people actually respond? What if what I build in 30 days is so wonderful, so extraordinary, so beneficial for so many people that it just compounds and people continue to grow and come and show up and support. So that's the way you need to think about it. I think that's where you're going to feel as if this mattered for you and your life and your topic that you want to discuss, your niche. I think that's where the transformation will happen, but you have to start. He said, Tammy, you said, I absolutely love going live. Look at you. Tammy, what's your topic? Let's see. Mama Nana, skinny drops. Oh, are you Tupperware retired teacher? Love that. Well, wait a minute. Tupperware, we know, I live in Orlando, so Tupperware is, so what are you doing? Are you TikTok shop? That's what I want to ask. So what's happening with Tupperware? Tupperware's gone, isn't it? Did they close officially? I thought they did. Hello, everyone. We have a blast. I know they do. I know you do. I know you do. It's for people that want to do it. That's it. People that want to do it. Congratulations, friend. Hello. Plus, find time to exercise, find time to sleep, laugh out loud. Yes, yes. A lot of shifting. You know what though? What I will say. How you doing, Dominique? Thank you so much for being here. You are getting on the FYU, friend. You meant the FYP. I love you, friend. That was so funny. You said, Dion, you getting on the FYU. what, what if it goes right? Yes. Just do it. Do it scared. You will succeed. Look at you. Tell me you came in here. You know what? I should have, you a paid spokesperson. Come on in, friend. If it goes wrong, you do it again until it's right. Yes, that's it. That is it. I love that. No, still alive and well. Is it? So, okay. What did they do? Go online? You got me curious now because I thought there was something going on with the headquarter office that they were shifting. But yeah, thank you so much, friend. I'm a consultant. I'm also a TikTok shop affiliate. Okay, representing Tupperware on there too. Okay, awesome. So they must have closed the headquarter office. That's what's happening then. Something's going on. Are they shifting to like an online space? Like some of these other companies do. Because I could have sworn I saw some media on that in the last few months or so. Yes, I absolutely love going live. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate your friend. Typos real time sometimes. Yeah. What happened? What I do? What did you say? What's the best that can happen? That's it. What's the best that can happen? No, they had 3 offices and now all combined into into the Midwest facility. Okay, gotcha, friend. Okay, thank you. Like I said, I live in Orlando. Their office was in Lake Mary. And I know it pretty well because of my high rate experience in the relationship with Tupperware. So I know it actually very well because of that. So, but yeah, I didn't know that they consolidated their offices. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Didn't even realize FYP. I'm glad you are smart. Dion said Tupperware is awesome. Yes. It is very awesome. So yeah, what was I about to say? The what's the best that can happen? Coach Miss Jessie, inspired expressions today. I love that saying. She said, what is the best that can happen? Okay? So when everything's said and done, we often shift to the thought of what is the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? Like, what can you imagine something that is beyond your imagination happening? Okay? So, you figure people who are in this room who are going live, they're growing, they're building their community, they're talking to people and influencing them in a way that they never thought they could do. Okay? I say that to you all because you guys thank me so much, so I appreciate you. But I don't know if I can influence the people in my household the way you guys are listening. If I can get my daughter to listen to half the things I tell her to do, she will probably be magnificent. But recognizing that you come to this space and you get validation, you get support, you get encouragement, and then you're able to do that for others. So that's what it's all about. You find the time to do it. Like I said, the time and having the perfectionist mindset where everything has to be right, everything has to be lined up and perfect, and then finding the time to do it is the two things that hold people back. And those are the two things people will constantly say to themselves to say, I can't do this. I'm not in the right. This is not going to be right for me. I can't see myself succeeding. And you give up or you don't start. So a lot of that happens. I know, right? My family listens to the way my podcast and TikTok community did. I know if they listened, we would be a powerhouse family. What is the best thing that can happen? Great perspective. Yes, that's it. That is it. Like this house will be unstoppable. But no, they don't listen. They don't listen, y'all. Yeah, that's me. I will get and sustain 100 people in my live room. Oh, and my followers will continue to grow. I will succeed. Look at you. Look at here throwing these affirmations out here. Let me see. Was that an affirmation or is that real talk? Let me make sure before I say that. That might be real talk, friend. Are you already at 100 people in your room and you're sustaining it and everything's growing? But I love that. But that's it. You speak it into existence. Yes, you speak it into existence. That's it. I will always feel like I could never find the time to do things I like well enough to succeed. Suddenly, Susan. Suddenly, Susan, you just gotta So yes, the mindset shift. Suddenly, Susan, you're the reason why I'm doing this today. You are my. She no, literally, she is the reason because she actually asked me to do this. This talk, the mindset shift talk. You literally asked me to do this. Like, Dr. Lisa, just do a mindset shift because you know there are things you need to do differently. You're right. However, here's what I will say to you. And so part of it is reframing how you're obviously reframing how you think about things, but reframing how you are writing in the narratives that you put out there. Because when you put in words like I always feel like, always, that's a a word, obviously that seems so permanent. It's one of those words where you don't give yourself a chance to say no. Always is not true. It's not that doesn't have to be your narrative. So and then use the word never, could never find. So just recognize that those are words that are allowing you to limit your ability to grow. And so you want to say, if you're going to use the word always and not with a negative, you're going to say, I'm always going to show up. I'm going to show up 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. every single day. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do that for the next 6 months. Now, I said I'm going to do it for all of 2025. So I'm doing it for the whole year. I'm giving myself this entire year to show up. In the algorithm right now, there's 332 people in the room. The room has gone up and down, up and down. I've been in this room where there was over 350 people in the room, almost 400 people in the room. I've had that experience. And no moderator, chatting and doing all the things. How you doing, QFAT? Thank you so much. 30 minutes minimum, right? You say yes. And now the algorithm isn't in my favor right now, but that's okay. Because the people in the room right now are the people I need to talk to. These are the people I need to talk to. So that's how it works for me. I don't let the numbers guide how I feel about myself, about my experience here, and about who I'm helping. Okay? So I just keep showing up. I just keep showing up. And at the end of the day, the algorithm will fix itself, and I'll work on that because right now it's thinking I'm doing TikTok shop. So, and my content's not hitting and getting far, and I'm getting low views, all the things that happen. You look at any influencer, any person with a lot of views, if you go through their content, they've had some good days and some bad days. Content that hit well and didn't hit well. And so I recognize that to be the roller coaster that we're on. And I don't let it stop me. So, you said, I know I'm a mess. You're not a mess. You are not a mess. You are fine. But again, I was there. I was that person. That's what it is. I was that person. Where I would say, okay, I would never see myself doing that. If I could look at myself now, my daughter, she laughs at me. The other day, she's like, Mommy, you really doing this? Because she was at college this whole year. She was away. So she sees me now doing this, the whole setup and everything. She's like, you really doing this? Like, this is a thing. It's like, yeah, it's a thing. I do this. It's what I do. Yeah, I'm happy with this. excited about it. I love what I'm doing. I found value and purpose with this. And I love every minute of it. And so, you'll find the time to do it, and you'll find the ability to shift your mindset to say, okay, now how do I build in things that are going to um, make me say yes? What if it all works out? What's the best that can happen? All the things that are going to keep you in a positive mindset. And sometimes you got to revisit those things. I will be the first to say, I have to revisit some of my affirmations and taking a look at, okay, when I say comparison is the thief of all joy, that's an affirmation I say every single morning. When I compare myself to the day before or compare myself to last week's performance, comparison is the thief of all joy. Now, granted, you do need to look at your analytics, and you sometimes need to look at some of your recordings and see how you can improve, but don't get to the point where you're stuck comparing yourself and you quit. Okay? Yes, indeed. You're such a blessing to me. I look forward to learning and listening to you. Thank you so much. I agree with you completely. Thank you so much. That's what resonates with me and most, I'm sure. Thank you, friends. I appreciate you. I see you. We're here to listen. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. Greetings, everyone. How you doing, Crafty Auntie? Appreciate you. Tap the screen, guys. Let's get Dr. Lisa 50K. She's dropping gems. Thank you so much. The kids are so surprised when we take our TikTok seriously. Yes. They are absolutely. They're like, what in the world is going on here? Because for them, let's be real. The algorithm for them is not showing this side of TikTok. The algorithm for them is showing somebody who's making beats with the headphones on, or somebody who is doing a dance video, or somebody who's laying on their sofa, or their bed, using all types of profanity. So their TikTok is different. They TikTok streets ain't our streets. We ain't on their block. Not at all. And so that's what it is. Thank you, friends. Thank you on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you all being here. And so, yeah, that's what they're saying. They're like, you on TikTok doing what? Like, this is not what they see. They don't see, conversations that are talking about how do you grow? How do you do better? How do you think about your next move? How do you take your topic, your niche, your brand, and leveraging it for whatever your target audience is in your live stream. Thank you so much. Appreciate your friends. Let me make sure. I have to remove some people. Make sure I am removing these people. YouTube streets have some people who are similar to the TikTok streets, y'all, just so that y'all know. I appreciate you, friends. I thought you couldn't say the word. Oh, you know what? I have my content disclosure on. That might be why TikTok mad at me too. It's like, you keep saying that word, but they ain't got me in trouble yet. I haven't gotten in trouble. But yeah, I have the content disclosure where I say it. I turn it on because it's my brain. My ears are itching. That's the hair. But yeah, so I have the content disclosure on, so I'm speaking to my brain. Yep, they're on different streets. Yeah, they're on different streets. I would get lost on the. I know. I don't go over there. I don't go over to their streets. He got my son in trouble today. Did he turn on his content disclosure? So when you're in your room and you're saying different things, that's what I turn on. So I talk about my brand. I have not I have not turned it on in months. And so I traditionally have it on every single time so I could talk about what I do and just have a little bit more leeway to say different company names and speak to it. So not sure. Yeah. Tell him to turn it on and see if that helps to improve things for him. But like I said, I keep it on. So hello. How you doing, friends? Thank you for being here from Chile. All right. Awesome. So come on in. So I'll stay on for maybe about another 10 minutes or so, only because I'm probably going to have a hard stop at 6. I signed up for a webinar that TikTok is doing. They're doing a webinar, so I just want to get a better sense of some of the information they're sharing from the headquarters office. It was a webinar speaking to strategies for your live stream. So I just want to kind of get a sense of what they're sharing. I have a gamer daughter in college. Indeed, totally different from our channel. Absolutely. What is content disclosure? So content disclosure, when you first in your on your settings page where you put your title at, go into the settings feature, scroll down, you'll see content disclosure. So what your content is about. And then you can select your brand, toggle it on, and you can select your brand. If you're promoting other people's products like TikTok Shop, it will show their brand. So that's what you're talking about then. The other thing is if you toggle it on in here, when you click the more button with the three dots, you could toggle that on then where you're talking about your brand. So again, it just allows you to talk a little bit more freely, especially if you have specific information you're sharing for your community. You said can I discuss briefly what updates were made? Um, when it comes, I saw that webinar before. Did you really? Was it good? Let me know. Am I wasting my time visiting Unicorn? Am I wasting my time? Let me know if I'm wasting my time. I was gonna have it cut on. I have some little small tasks I need to do anyway, so I was just gonna have it playing in the background. But oops. But I did. What happened? You did what? So uh, it said OP. Let me know what you wrote, Frank. So what I will tell you, Kelsey, Miss Kelsey, I would say some of the things that they talked about is the way people are begging on the app, and they're using tragic events or some extenuating circumstances, some tragedy in their life or whatever, to use it as an opportunity to beg. And so they're using that in their lives and in their content creation. And TikTok was like, no, y'all won't be doing that here. No, no, no. So you can't do that anymore. Um, Oh, you said you didn't sign up. Gotcha. Okay, okay, gotcha. So that's one thing that like kind of glaring. They're also saying people were using like green screens, not the one that I usually use where I show an image. Like if I talk about the Skill Live rewards, or if I talk about other things, I pull the image up. I guess people were using the green screen to use it as sharing information that was probably TikTok is saying no more green screens. Let me put it that way in terms of how people use messaging behind them that way. You could use the boards and the other features. I think that's probably what they want you to do. Use the boards and other features to talk about your messaging. If you have marketing stuff that you want to share, you can use those features. Um, when it comes to content creation, again, you got to make sure you're not, and even for the lives, you got to make sure you're not dressed too provocative. So they're censoring how people look. They want high quality content. So I think they're just shifting how people are able to monetize, as well as they're going to demonetize you if you are held in violation for some of the things, some of the new rules that they have. They're just going to be a little bit more strict in terms of how they're operating. So yeah, you'll see it, and to me, it's all good things because I do believe. Well, I think two things are at play when it came to obviously they're on this temporary status. They're trying to better improve their image. They're trying to make sure that monetization is maybe a little bit more. It's a privilege, not a right. So a lot of people are monetizing, and maybe they aren't necessarily doing a lot. Maybe they're begging, they're doing some other stuff to deserve to be monetized. So TikTok is like, well, wait a minute, let's put some more parameters around this. The other thing is, I noticed people were talking about, well, the whole begging concept and stuff. Um, I think what's happening also is that TikTok is really, when you think about the Skill Live rewards, those type of things, they probably should be doing that differently because people are structuring their conversations when they go live about all the different things that you should be doing to support the creator, as opposed to saying, okay, here's the different, instead of educating people, that's what I'm trying to say, and educating them and saying, okay, here's how you want to properly engage. You want to tap the screen, share the live, do all that stuff. And there, I've heard people will say, if you don't do this type of gift, you got to get out of my room. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is inappropriate. So some of that they're cracking down on in terms of how people are, again, begging for gifts and saying, this is what I want you to send me, and that type of behavior. That's not what you're supposed to be doing at all. He said, me too. Yeah. Can you reteach how to share screen and near future, please? Teach how to share my screen? What do you mean by share my screen? Um, flip my screen around, like when I'm in my live. So like right now, if I turn my screen, hold on 1 second. I hit the wrong thing. Okay, so like right now, sorry. Um, let's see. I click the more with 3 dots. So you see more with 3 dots. The 3 dots is usually in the bottom corner as you go live. If you click that, you can flip your camera. So is that what you meant by share your screen? So you can see my profile page? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Okay. So thank you so much, Spiritual Soul. I appreciate your friend. So here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna go through this really quickly because I want to make sure, like I said, I signed up for that webinar, so I was gonna try to attend it. It starts at 6, so I got 5 minutes. Oh, okay. You have to use another computer. I'm on my tab. I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone, and I click the button that flipped my camera. The back camera is showing. The back camera on my phone is showing you my laptop. So that's what's happening. How do you pin people? You touch the words that you have, mix it up. The words that you wrote, how to pin people, how to pin someone. You touch those words, the screen pops up and it says pin comment. Gotcha. Yep. So if you click my photo up here, my mini profile is going to pop up. I'm going to close out the mindset conversation. So I want anybody who's still here and you have not downloaded, it's a free download. All I'm going to do really quickly is go to my free product. Go to my stand store. We're going to walk through that real quick. I want you to get my free product. I'm going to show it really quickly, like super fast. I usually do spend a little bit more time, but like I said, I wanted to get to that webinar. So I'm going to go to that really quickly, but with the thinking that Dr. Lisa, thank you for the conversation. You're welcome. You're welcome. And so we'll talk more about mindset. I don't want you guys to miss out on the whole idea that, to do something, that is radically different than what you're used to I respect that. I understand that. But to do something and want change in your life, it is going to require you to do something radically different than what you're used to. And so people oftentimes say, oh, why is this always happening to me? Why can't I have better, fortune or luck, whatever the case may be? It's because you're not thinking very intentionally about that transformation that needs to happen. And then oftentimes you're impatient. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, friend. 100%. Oftentimes we are afraid of being in it and being patient for that transformation to happen. Okay? So you start something and you stop it because you're too impatient. Okay? Or you start something else over here, but you don't see this other thing through. I will say, you got to be in the mindset that says, okay, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stay at it. I'm not going to change. I'm going to give this. Did you feel seen a little bit, Kelsey? I appreciate your friend. Did you feel seen? Hello, Kim. How are you? You know what? Our friend Live Legion, she came in the room earlier. I don't know if she's still here. I don't think she is. I think she just did a quick flyby. But she came in the room earlier. She said she's going to do some research on your situation. In terms of she says something has changed. She is aware of it. Something's changed, and that's why you have TikTok Shop for your business account. So she is aware of something's changed. She needs to get all the details about it. So that's what's happening. And you can DM her. If you DM her, she'll find. Hey, Dr. Lisa. I don't know if you heard me, but she's talking to you, Kim. But Live Legion was in the room earlier. She said something did change when it comes to business accounts, and now it does look like they are giving creator access for the affiliate program. But she's going to look into all the details and get some more specifics for us. And so I thought about you when I asked that question. And then you could DM her. She said DM and it's totally fine. So she responds to DMs. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you so much for the gifts. I see you all. I so appreciate it. So come on in. Anybody who, Dr. Lisa, do you talk about the same content in your 10 and 4? Actually, not intentionally, no, but it does happen sometimes. The 10 o'clock is what I call my level up conversation. So my 4 o'clock is typically new people. I gear it towards new people. People who are coming into the live for the first time. They're trying to figure this app out. They want to go live, and they're nervous. They're scared. They're shy. They're all the things. And because of that, hold on one second. Because of that, this live is more focused on how to support people. I'm gonna see if I can multitask. And my 10 o'clock is for my people who are looking to level up. My people who are trying to, give me one second. My people who are trying to, okay, I'm on the wrong account. I'm gonna have to look at my phone. All right, let me close that. I don't know what that is. Okay. My people who are trying to make additional passive income. My people, when I talk about Dr. Lisa, you guys get the Dr. Lisa, the 4 o'clock people. My 10 o'clock people get the launch your income. That's the way I like to think of it. 10 o'clock should be focused on how are you leveling up? How are you thinking intentionally about your growth strategy? How are you making passive income? How are you being intentional about, if you are looking to get into the space of digital marketing, what does it mean to get the right support, the right product mix that's going to educate you, help you with your brand, help you understand leveraging Canva, which is a design software, and then you also get access to me and I can kind of help you walk you through that whole process. So that's what the bundle offers. And then I also have another product. I'm an affiliate for the Ultimate Branding course. So that's my other product. And then I have some smaller products in there too to help you go live, help you think of your topic and your niche. So all that's in my stand store. And I do one-on-one consultations. But ultimately, my 10 o'clock is for those people that I can have that conversation. I get spillover from both groups. So that's awesome. Thank you. See you soon, everyone. Thank you so much. I get spillover from both groups, but ultimately, it is supposedly, according to the algorithm, that is, it is supposed to be two separate conversations. That's what's supposed to happen. And so I'm here to support, and that's what I'm doing. Um, let's see. Thank you. Is that Eastern? It is Eastern. Yep, 4 p.m. Eastern. Oh, you're talking about Kim. Kim, what's your time zone? I think you're Central, aren't you, friend? Let me know. I think you are. Okay, friends. Let me do this really quickly. If you go to my profile, click it once, my mini profile pops up. If you click it again, my photo that is, it'll take you to my main profile. On my main profile, you will see my stand store, and that's the link under my bio. And then you'll see the different products that I offer. And so all that's in there that I just talked about, the products there, my one-on-one consultations. This is the free product. That's what I was going to take us to. So I want you to go here. You're going to fill in your information. This is where we're going to talk very intentionally about mindset. So you can grab that here. And then it will download. It will be a PDF that you can download. It is your workbook. It is free. This is the workbook. It has information about positive affirmations, some tasks on overthinking, mindfulness breathing. I say it's a combination of relaxation and gratitude, mindful thinking, just to get you to think outside of your comfort zone. But it also has you sit in a space of thinking about, okay, what if I have these cognitive distortions or the boundaries I need to make? How do I make those boundaries? How do I start working through those type of things? My time, my personal boundaries, my job, my family, all the things that are creating you to say, I can't do something I want to do because you haven't set those boundaries. And so then it goes back to affirmations, common spaces, and then you'll see where it talks about those cognitive distortions. I intentionally put this in here because we often will say the negative self-talk. I'm not competent enough. I failed once. I'm gonna fail again. I'm not perfect. So all the things that we do that are exaggerated thinking, or um, thinking that's saying that we are incapable of doing something radically different. So I want you to work through those cognitive distortions, and then I want you to have a mindset shift. I told you there's some relaxation stuff in here because when we're stressed, we don't tend to relax. So you need to relax. You need to have gratitude for what you can do, what you can say, for having different opportunities that maybe you have the opportunity to take advantage of here. And so I want you to think through that, as well as I want you to start setting goals. So if you're setting goals and being intentional about your goal setting, you're setting a goal to go live. My friend earlier who set the goal to create content, you're setting a goal to come up with a schedule where you can go live daily, weekly, monthly, over the course of a month. And so, suddenly, Susan, earlier you mentioned maybe having um, a challenge. So, I mean, I think we should, as a culmination, I mean, there's less people in the room now, but at the end of the day, we probably should have a challenge where, what does it look like? It is May 21st. We'll set it to May 22nd, so tomorrow. You said yes. Okay, yes. Oh, you're saying yes, Eastern time. So awesome, Dr. You think of most helpful things. Thank you. You're welcome. Um, what does it look like starting tomorrow? And I know you actually started going live every day. So what does it look like to go live every single day? Okay? Every single day for the next 30 days. I don't care if it's in the middle of the month. If you got go live access, then you go live. And if you don't have go live access, what does it look like for you to get live access by the end of the month? Okay? So that means, obviously you just need a blue box. That means that you come in live and you engage enough, TikTok will give you a notification and go live. It's just as simple as that. So what does it look like for you to get live access quickly, get your follower count up, and then click the go live button. So you are then able to fully engage and build your community. Okay? And then you can continue to come here and I can support you in terms of understanding the mechanics of going live. But at the end of the day, it's about you taking that step. Okay? And finding the time to do it. Because, the time is there. It's just a matter of how do you allocate the time? How do you make those shifts in your availability? Okay? Hi, everyone. How you doing, Burke Boys? Appreciate your friend. So how do you make those shifts? How do you do it intentionally? It's going to be key. And then you'll see where you get more time. Yeah. Hello, friends. All right, my dear friends, I appreciate you. If you have not already done so, my moderator is Yes Michelle Crochet. I don't think she's there on the live anymore, but please follow her. She is awesome. She is the moderator for my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube, my name is the same, Dr. Lisa Launch Your Income. If you watch one of my shorts or long form videos or one of hers as well, one of her videos, you get 2 for 1. We both will go to your page. We will like, comment, and subscribe. So subscribe to us. We'll do the same for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can jump on this webinar. I was going to see if I can cut it on, but it didn't do it. So I'm going to jump on this webinar, and I will be back tomorrow at 10. Thank you so much, Thrive. I appreciate you. I hope this was helpful. I tried to be as transparent. I zipped through my workbook, but I'll probably sit into that workbook a little bit more tomorrow. Thanks. You're welcome. And I want to make sure I'm supporting you all. So if you feel like you need some additional guidance and support, let me know. You can message me and we'll work through that too. Stacy P, how are you, friend? Thank you so much for the daily heart me. I appreciate you, friend. And we're gonna get you a bio. Work on that bio so you have some words there, friend. That's gonna be your homework for tonight. All right, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, my YouTube family, I see you all. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you for staying with me this entire time. I did not get a chance to talk about YouTube as much, but I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for coming over. And let me know if you have questions. I appreciate all the engagement in the chat. And if you follow me, thank you so much, or subscribe to my channel. I will subscribe to yours if you leave a comment so I can make sure I can get to you all on one of my shorts or long form videos. And then my moderator is Yes Michelle Crochets. Make sure you get to her channel as well. She is awesome. She is my YouTube person. So you can definitely get guidance and support from her. All right, friends, take care. Bye-bye.